Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Steampunk Tower 2 and the key was provided by developer. This is a quite specific tower defense game. You have one spot where you put up to 10 towers that go left or right. They fight enemies coming from left or right. I will show you that in a moment. We have quite extensive upgrade system. Lots of grinding, quite a lot of content as well. I'm actually over 20 hours in the game, even though I'm having very strange data from the game itself, like it's 50 hours, while Steam is showing 20. It's probably more 20 than 50. And the game has numerous problems as well that make it somewhat annoying and imbalanced at a certain moment of the game. But at the same time, you can think probably something between 15 and 20 hours, maybe 25. However, lots of this will be grinding and just collecting resources. So let's maybe go first to options, which are almost non-existent. We have, let's see if this is a slider. Maybe like this. Is this a slider? Yes, it's a slider. Okay, so from 0 to 100, yes, we can change the volume. Let's see the languages. Oh, there's 4. Okay, that's fine, and nothing else. The game also works in menu somehow. I'm not sure how I did it, but it's in a window, so well, that's good. I will first show you one mission. And by the way, I will be showing you quite developed character, so just be careful about the content that I will be showing you. This will be end game content. I won't be going into the story, but this is just pretty much end game. So I want to show you because this is gonna be also a defense of the game to some extent, because there is quite a lot of content, and I want to show you that it's actually there. So the game isn't rather primitive. It's more like quite well developed. However, of course, there are problems which I will come into, well, in a moment. Let's just show you one mission, so you see the gameplay. Because, well, one thing is gameplay, the rest is, well, other problems and management. So the mission itself, I'm gonna just play one mission. We have 6 types of enemies that will show up. There's also a couple of types in each of them. So generally speaking, we'll fight everything in this mission. I have 10 turrets already prepared, left side, right side of the tower. We'll see what's going to happen in a moment. Let me maybe just let's just go to game. Okay, I'm gonna skip it. So yes, that's your tower. Goes down. It builds up the turrets to the left and right sides, and now we can speed it up and click. And now we're gonna just fight. They will fight on their own. You can move turrets to the center of tower to reload them faster, generally speaking, to reload them, or to even hide them from some attacks. So you can micromanage like this. Also, when the turret shines blue, it can use specific attack. So I can use specific attack of a turret and drag it into a battlefield, and it's gonna do something. I have to load something to show you. For instance, this turret will now perform special attack with rockets. Let's kill the rest. Okay, let's now use another one. It's the same actually, but let's see it again. Yes, that's the rockets. They are fighting on their own. Some are capable of killing everything on the ground and in the air, others not. But I have combined different types of turrets so they can kill most of the enemies, especially if it's a early mission like this. Also, we have 3 powers. I'm not gonna show them because they are unlocked while you play the game. I'm just going to tell you that you can use up to 3 powers that will do extensive damage, and you have to pay for them. You have to grind the money, pay for them, and you can use power 1, power 2, power 3. You can stack them. I'm not sure how far, but you can have at least 10 of them. You can also use steam ray, which is a ray coming from the top of the tower that you can use to manually attack enemies, but you can just leave it to the turrets. So you have your turrets, you have the 3 powers that can be used. They will cost money, so that's a bit of a costly way of winning the map, but you can do it, and you can use the steam ray. Let's just kill everything to the end. We're not gonna get much out of this because that's the story mission that was already done. I just wanted to show you because I was sure I can win it easily. So that's how it works in game. Now the game choked. Hope it's gonna regain. Let's see. Yeah, it's regained this. Well, it's just working again. So we open the box and we get either money or the other resource. It's called Ethereum, I think. You also get experience, but I'm already kinda max level. I already unlocked everything I could, so it's just empty experience. I would get money for it, but money is capped to 50,000, so it's also not that helpful. Let's go to the city. So you can take money of those districts, and that will go back. Money will go back in just real time. So we have to keep the game open for a few minutes, and it's gonna load it again. So you can just basically leave the game open in Alt Tab somewhere there while doing something else. It's gonna load the money, and this way you can go all the way to 50,000. Not the best idea in my opinion, because well, you just watch a movie, leave the game open, and you can grind like this. That's not the smartest decision, but that's how they made it. This is the tower upgrade system. You upgrade the tower buying different power-ups. Those are permanent, and you also have upgrades for specific turrets. So the tower itself gets upgraded, and turrets also get upgraded. You put those pieces, you kind of drag them here. You level up the turret to max, and you pick which kind of upgrade you want, and you end up with a full upgraded turret. You can upgrade each turret in two ways, two general ways, and then you also pick additional upgrade path. But generally there's usually some sort of decision in some moment. You make like A version of specific turret or B version of specific turret. And there is 5 types of turrets, and each of them can go two ways, plus those additional decisions. So there is some customization here. If you just buy a turret, you pick out of 5 basic turrets, and then they get upgraded with variety of bonuses. So they go from something like this, you can see the damage here, up to something like this, right? This is a fast shooting machine gun turret. This is a heater, hard heater, electricity turret. So this one is like stronger, but of course if you upgrade this one, it ends up again quite powerful. So 5 types of turrets in 2 versions. That's what you are using all the time. You have up to 10 turrets on the tower, and you just have to take it to battle. Now we have also this thing here. It's showing, as you can see, 52 hours. No idea why so many, because I played 21 hours, not 52, but it's showing a different timer in game for some reason. And then we have storage. Those are parts for turret upgrading. You take those from factories on the main map. Those are quests. I can't do them because they are challenges. And challenges don't allow you to use any upgrades. You have to perfectly do a mission. I tried the first one, couldn't do it, and I just gave up. So those are quite annoying in my opinion. You have to do them perfectly, and I'm not good at doing stuff perfectly, so I couldn't beat any of them. And if you beat them, you get unique turrets. So I could get a couple of unique turrets, but I just can't do that. So, well, maybe some are easier, some are not. But the first one I couldn't do, so I just gave up. And there's also a quest that will push the story forward. Not sure why. Well, I guess this is just a number, so that means I made 68 quests, main missions, and it's not yet end of the game. So it's close to the end, but not yet. So there's like probably 70 plus missions, plus some additional challenges, and you can repeat also some missions. So there's quite a lot of content. Achievements, they are nicely here. They do nothing really aside from being Steam achievements, but you can do those. There's also encyclopedia. I'm not gonna click bosses because that would be a spoiler. I think there's 4 or 5 bosses total in the game, and lots of units. You can read about them if they have some sort of vulnerability of some defense, like this one has defense against machine guns and so on. So it's nicely put together. There's also help section that talks about basic elements of the game. So that's nice to have it all here in the game itself. Additional thing here is, again, we can go back to the turrets, or we can click here. It's the same thing. Also, this tab is also here, right? I mean, not, yeah, it's here. It just goes to storage, but generates the same tab as the mention. You just click on the button at the bottom, not on the map, but you can also click here. So again, time has passed. I'm taking money. Now, what can you also do? You can auto fight a mission. So if you go like this, you click auto battle, you can auto battle the mission, and you get all the loot and experience. Again, this can be grinded, so you can just leave the game open. The enemy will attack in specific period of time. It's usually something around 10 minutes or less. So if you leave it for an hour, you will have at least 6 missions. They will take over territories, and you can just regain them very quickly. Not all of them, but most of them you can just regain with one button. So you just do this. It's very, very grindy. But if you lack some sort of resources, you can do that. You can just leave the game open and just grind like this. Clear. I'm just checking, see I can clear another one. So that's what you do. You just leave the game for an hour or 2 hours and you clear all the territories you can. And you get tons and tons of resources. Now, when it comes to actual missions that are higher, there is a problem. One of the problems, see, this is impossible. I have all 10 turrets, max level, and I cannot do it at all. I don't know why, but I can't auto battle those. So I would have to fight them manually, and then they will be taken again by the enemy. So it makes completely no sense. You just can't do this. You can temporarily take it. You can take, for instance, this factory that would get parts that needs to be delivered. It goes like this. You just click. It's going to deliver a part. But to get parts, let's say from this, I would have to fight it, then take the part, and then it's gonna be taken by the enemy again. And I cannot auto fight it because of this, right? No idea why it's like this, but it's a problem. So that's the first problem. You cannot auto battle all the missions, and you will end up not having particular parts of the map, or you would have to constantly fight it manually. Now those are challenges. I'm not touching them because I can't even do the first one. So those are very, very hard in my opinion. Completely imbalanced. You just have to do it perfectly. You have to know where to fight, where to move the turret, when to use the special attack of the turret. You would have to have a very detailed guide. Just see how someone does it or keep trying forever because that's just very hard and you're very unlikely to do it first try. So those are just annoying. That's the second problem. And the third problem is the bosses. Bosses are just ridiculous. Again, they are very imbalanced. You cannot use your special powers. You can only use turrets, and you have to use specific turrets. Yes, you can upgrade them differently, but you have to use specific turrets in a boss fight, and you cannot use the eye of your tower, and you cannot use the powers. So every boss fight is super hard. Every challenge is super hard, and some territories will be always lost sooner or later because you cannot auto fight them. There's a couple of problems. The fourth problem is the grind, right? So this is a grind. You just leave the game, click, 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 and so it goes until 50,000. Takes forever. Also, if you want to fight a battle, I'm not gonna fight it, but let's just go. If you want to fight a battle that's high level, you would have to buy these. You would have to buy special powers, maybe even use those. They only work for one mission, so that would cost almost 6,000. Getting those, depending how many you need, you probably need a lot, probably like 10 even of them, sometimes less, but if it's high level mission, you need more, many of them. You would need the eye charges, so that's 4,000, that's 6,000. Those would cost probably even like 30,000, all of them. So you need to constantly grind gold and keep buying them. Like right now, I would have to just go here, buy those, slowly prepare for the next campaign mission or go for one of these. Of course, use all my resources, use all my powers, beat it, get like one part, and then just go back here and keep clicking until you have another 50,000, until you can buy everything back, and it just goes like this. This is the part that came from the factory, so it just comes with a train, and you can also send your generals to some mission. Like I could send her to the mission or send him to the mission. They are the same color, so they give a big bonus. So I will regain around 300 Ethereum eventually, when it just happens, when they make their moves, and I will be able to finish just like I finished with the part. I would go back here, I would click the people who come back with the train, and I would get the gems. Of course, this is useless because you can simply regain territories and you will also get gems. So all you need to do is actually leave the game for like 2 hours and then clear all the territories. You'll get both gold and Ethereum. So some mechanics in the game actually make no sense. You can only make money by clicking those 3, or by beating a mission, which you can beat manually or auto battle. And to get Ethereum, you generally have to send your people, but then you just auto combat and you also get it. So it's kind of useless. I think we should be getting the lady. Yes, that's the lady. We get some Ethereum. It's close to 3,500. That's almost the cap. Now I can't upgrade anything because everything is fully upgraded. Again, I have to click, and so it goes. So to some extent an idle game and a clicker, but mostly it's a tower defense, the way you have seen. And all the brown towers are campaign missions. So those are all the 70 plus campaign missions. That's quite a lot of content. You can try the challenges for the special towers, which I don't have. So I'm not showing you the unique towers because I don't have even one of them. And that's the out of combat again. So I'm just grinding like this again. Let's see what I get. Yeah, we get money, more money than we spent, so that's the way to make money. At the end game we didn't get any Ethereum, but eventually we would get. You can also look for the next territory that's gonna be attacked. Yes, it's gonna be attacked here, so I would have to now idle the game for 7 minutes, then take over this and so on. And here we are slowly regaining money. So that's the game. I'm gonna take the this stuff. I'm gonna just leave it like this, and I will sum up. So the game is mixed bag. It's not well balanced. Boss fights are horrible. I mean, they look awesome, but they are really hard to do. Very, very try-hardy. And if you fail, if you spend, well, you just lose the health of the tower, so you don't lose that much money. But you'll be repeating those a lot, so you might even have to grind money just to have more attempts at the boss. Or you will be grinding money to upgrade towers, but even if you fully upgrade towers, the boss fights will be hard. You can also grind experience by combating many missions, and that would max your level, but again, it still will be a problem for the bosses. You will also be quite weak in the endgame missions. You will have to use all those special powers, so that again means grinding money. So the game becomes very grindy. You can't really go from mission to mission just doing campaign missions and beating the game like this. You would have to grind to be even able to make an attempt. Because if I take, let's say, this mission, and if I fail, but I burn a lot of resources, if I burn all those powers here, I would have to now grind all the money back, and then I will be able to do it again. Right, so I would have to again come here, click, get more powers. Like let's say 8 powers was not enough, so I will use 15 powers. So I will grind all the way to have 15 of each power. Right, the cost will grow a lot. Like right now I'm grinding to 20, I think. So I do this. I just buy one of each. It's also a problem. You can't buy more than one, just one. So I'm slowly buying them. Then again, I need another 4,000 to, or even more, to get another one of each, but I would like to have like 20 and then make an attempt. Probably after this campaign mission, yeah, do another one. So again, it gain money, and so it goes. Very, very, very grindy. When it comes to the meat of the game, there is a lot of it. Before you upgrade everything to max and get at least 10 turrets, or you can have more and switch them as well, but for boss fights you have to use specific turrets anyway. That's gonna take a while, probably like 15 to 20 hours, plus all the grinding, plus all the idling game in the background. So it does give you quite a lot of gameplay. It's also good looking, and gameplay itself is quite fun when it comes to just beating the specific area. So it is not a bad game, but it does have problems. It's kind of tiring to end it, to finish completely, because you will either get stuck on the boss, you will probably get stuck on every challenge mission. Even if you do those, then you will be stuck on getting money, maybe even Ethereum, because you might run out as well. So you will be grinding Ethereum with your generals. It's gonna take time, so that's more idling and more alt tabbing, and eventually you'll be able to make attempt at another mission or another attempt at the boss. Once you break through, you will be back to grinding, and so it goes. It's gonna probably give you over 20 hours of gameplay. I would say probably between 20 and 30 hours of gameplay, but a lot of it will be just grinding and failing. The actual game is a bit less, but it's still quite a lot for a tower defense. The game is rather cheap, so is the first part, which I didn't play. So what can I say at the end? I would actually give it 7 out of 10, because I think that some elements are above standard. This is pretty good tower defense game with nice graphics, quite a lot of upgrading, some decision making, additional economical aspect, what to do to get most out of it, which territory to take, which parts to take, which turret to upgrade. It's deeper than just a casual tower defense game. It's also longer, well, than most of them. I wouldn't say all of them, because some are very long, but there are also quite many tower defense games that are short. So this is, I would say, above standard, but it does have some glaring problems. You will probably enjoy it, you will probably have fun for quite some time, and then you might either give up simply because you won't be able to beat a specific moment, or you will just be tired with the grinding, or you might eventually beat it. But it's gonna be annoying. Some elements will be annoying, like the fact that I can't just replay this territory like all the others, right? For unknown reason. That's annoyance, right? The boss fight where you can't use your powers and you can't use freely whatever turrets you want, that's also annoying. The fact that you have to grind just to beat a mission and do all the clicking and upgrading, well, that's also annoying. So there are problems. There's quite a lot of problems, and the game is quite dead for a long time. The forums are quite dead for also quite a long time. So I don't think there will be many changes, if any changes. But the game is pretty good product, and it's not expensive, and it does offer quite a lot of gaming time. So I personally give it 7 out of 10, and I think I can recommend it to anybody who likes tower defense games, especially if they like also grinding and upgrading, not just a pure tower defense with just putting tower and that's it, maybe upgrading it while the battle lasts, but not in between battles. That's more. This game is more. This game actually has all this area, all the upgrades, right? All the stuff you collect, all the stuff that you have to here put into motion. So it's more, but also it has problems. I would say grab it on sale, especially if it's on deep sale, and if you are a fan, you can definitely grab it, because, well, if it gives you like 20 hours of fun, then it's worth the money, especially if it's on sale. But just be aware that the game has annoying problems that probably won't be any better with time, because, well, I think it's dead from what I noticed. The forum is quite silent. There's like some roadmap from a year ago. Uh, I don't know what's going on with it, but in this state, I think we have what we have. So for a little money, you can add it to your collection. You should be satisfied if you like this sort of games. But just be aware that the game has problems, might be annoying. You might have to use some guides on YouTube. Luckily, there are some, especially for bosses. I'm not sure. I think there's also a guide for challenge missions, but I didn't even touch it. It's too try-hardy for me to bother, but I did check the boss fights and they are there. So yes, you can use guide if you have to. You probably will have to use the guide. But I wouldn't count on the developer changing or improving the game further. However, yes, it's quite a big game, quite nice game, not very expensive, so we could say it's a playable product and kind of worth the money, even though, well, it's not perfect. And it's actually, all those problems could be fixed, but you would have to have some voice from the developer that they are working on it and they will change it, they will listen to feedback, which probably they won't. But if I'm mistaken, I'm very happy that this game gets ever any patch or upgrade. That would be awesome. So yeah, that was Steampunk Tower 2. I didn't play the first part. I give this game, Steampunk Tower 2, 7 out of 10 and a recommendation. However, be careful what you're getting, grab it on sale and you should be satisfied. I was having fun until I got stuck like this, but I think I showed you, well, pretty much everything that I could. So, that will be it for this review, and I'll see you guys in the next one.